Imagine a world where the safety of majestic thoroughbred horses hangs in the balance, pitted against the high-stakes allure of international racing glory. But here's the shocking twist: what if top officials were pressuring vets to gamble with equine lives just to keep the show on the track? That's the explosive claim at the heart of a brewing scandal in Australia's Racing Victoria, and it's got everyone in the horse racing world talking. Let's dive deeper into this gripping story, breaking it down step by step so even newcomers to the sport can follow along easily. And trust me, when we get to the accusations involving superstar trainers and owners, things really heat up. It's the part that might just change how you view the glamorous facade of horse racing forever. At the center of this controversy is Dr. Grace Forbes, the highly respected Chief Veterinary Officer for Racing Victoria. She's been in her role as General Manager of Veterinary Services since 2014, dedicated to ensuring the health and well-being of the animals under her care. But according to a bombshell report in the Herald Sun, Dr. Forbes has taken the bold step of filing an official complaint with Australia's Fair Work Commission. This isn't just any grievance, it's an application for an order to stop bullying, where she alleges that she faced intense pressure and coercion from higher-ups to approve horses for racing that were considered extraordinarily risky, potentially setting them up for catastrophic injuries or even death. The details are eye-opening. Dr. Forbes claims that senior executives, including Racing Victoria's chief executive Aaron Morrison and their integrity boss Jamie Steer, repeatedly urged her to be flexible when applying the state's strict veterinary safety protocols. In her submission, which the Herald Sun reviewed, she describes these requests as demands that would force her to act unethically, directly conflicting with her unwavering commitment to equine welfare. As she put it so poignantly, the repeated request of me to be flexible suggests that I should be unethical, which is at odds with my commitment to advocate for the horse. For beginners wondering what that means, imagine a doctor being asked to ignore health warnings just to let a patient play in a high-contact sport. It's a recipe for disaster, and Dr. Forbes stood firm, voicing concerns that allowing these high-risk horses to compete could lead to serious harm or fatalities. Her principled stance, however, reportedly created friction with management. She claims she was eventually sidelined from her duties overseeing international veterinary assessments and had to take personal leave due to psychological and emotional exhaustion. This isn't just a personal struggle, it highlights a potential clash between profit-driven decisions and the ethical duty to protect animals. To illustrate, think of it like a referee in a major league game being pressured to overlook fouls for star players, except here, the stakes involve living beings that can't speak for themselves. But here's where it gets controversial and sparks heated debates. Dr. Forbes doesn't stop at internal pressures. She also points fingers at prominent international figures, accusing them of directly influencing Racing Victoria's leadership to loosen the veterinary standards. Specifically, she names Irish trainer Aidan O'Brien and Melbourne Cup winning owner Nick Williams as having exerted pressure to make the protocols more flexible, even if it meant endangering horses with catastrophic injuries. I have no doubt that Mr. Aidan O'Brien applied direct pressure to Racing Victoria leadership to soften the standards, to make the veterinary safety protocols flexible, even if that meant risking catastrophic injury to horses, she stated in her submission. For those unfamiliar, Aidan O'Brien is a legendary trainer with an impressive record of winners in top races worldwide, and Nick Williams has celebrated victories in Australia's most prestigious event. Accusing such icons of prioritizing wins over welfare could ignite fierce arguments. Are these allegations a brave stand for truth, or an overreach that unfairly tarnishes reputations? It's a polarizing point that might make you question whether fame and fortune sometimes trump animal safety in elite sports. Unsurprisingly, Racing Victoria has fired back strongly, refuting the claims as inaccurate and disparaging. A spokesperson emphasized that equine welfare is their top priority, backing it up with concrete actions. They've invested a staggering $45 million Australian dollars on welfare programs, initiatives, and resources since 2017. The protocols continue to set a global standard and we will not compromise these, they declared. This defense suggests a commitment to progress, but it also begs the question: if the protocols are so ironclad, why the allegations of pressure? Is this a case of internal misunderstandings, or something more sinister? The counterpoint here is intriguing. Perhaps flexibility in some cases could prevent unnecessary exclusions for horses that are actually safe, allowing for a more nuanced approach. But does that risk opening the door to abuse? It's a debate that's sure to divide opinions, and it highlights the ongoing tension between rigorous rules and the realities of international competition. To understand the backdrop, let's rewind a bit. These veterinary protocols were rolled out in 2021, sparked by a tragic incident, the death of Anthony van Dyke during the 2020 Melbourne Cup. That was the 7th fatality in 8 years, with 6 of them involving European-trained horses, a sobering reminder of the dangers lurking in the sport. The new rules, designed to enhance safety, now mandate compulsory pre-travel and pre-race scans using advanced imaging like CT or PET scans for all international entrants. For newcomers, think of these as ultra-detailed X-rays that can spot hidden issues in bones, tissues, and muscles before a horse even steps onto the track, much like a pre-game MRI for athletes. Since implementing these measures, there's been a remarkable track record: 0 fatalities during the Melbourne Cup Carnival. And a recent example underscores their effectiveness: the disqualification of Cox Plate and Melbourne Cup favourite Sir Delius after scans revealed a heightened risk of injury. This shows the protocols are applied fairly, regardless of a horse's fame or connections, proving that welfare can triumph over prestige. A Fair Work Commission hearing on Dr. Forbes' application is slated for later this year, promising more revelations. This case could set precedents for how racing bodies handle ethical dilemmas, potentially influencing standards far beyond Australia. For those passionate about animal rights, it's a rallying cry. For racing enthusiasts, it might feel like an attack on the sport's traditions. Either way, it forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about balance in high-adrenaline industries. So, what do you think? Should racing authorities ever bend rules to accommodate big-name horses and trainers, or is animal welfare an absolute that must never be compromised? Do these allegations reveal a deeper rot in the industry, or are they an isolated misunderstanding? Share your views in the comments below. Let's spark a conversation and see where the debate leads.